The problem with Haman is that if there are occurrences in nature that are truly random, right? That all the things that we can't use our wisdom to fully uncover and examine and determine, that if the remainder of what determines the outcome is actually unpredictable and random and just due to chance, then that still is kind of a problem with dualism, right? Because you're saying that, well, Akadosh Baruch Hu can have his way, except for the fact that there's this sort of demon tossing coins and coming up with heads and tails and throwing chaos and randomness into the mix. And sometimes you can just flip heads 12 times in a row, and that can be a big problem because it eventually will lead to the destruction, for example, of Am Yisrael. The idea of Am Yisrael as an eternal people, as the people that will never be destroyed because our brit, our covenant with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, is written into the fabric of the universe, and that he will never fully abandon us. That doesn't work with pure randomness, because pure randomness gets you, the average a typical amount of times and gets you small deviations from the average a certain amount of time, but it can get you arbitrary deviations from the average some of the time. And if you're talking about eternity, that's a long time. So thinking now in kind of the mindset of a statistical physicist, for the same reason that something that is made of a finite set of constituent parts that are subject to random forces, if you make a model of the thing you're conceiving of and you imagine all the pieces of it are each subject to a quasi-independent coin toss, if you want to flip heads a billion times in a row, you just have to wait long enough. So if you're tracking the success of the eternal relationship that Am Yisrael has with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then over eternity, eventually you, so to speak, get your rare event, your spontaneous combustion, whatever you want to call it. And there's no more Am Yisrael. We just, we were dealt the worst hand possible in a billion years, and it's over. And the promise was not fulfilled, and we didn't make it, right? That is a logical, a philosophical possibility the moment you introduce the idea that some things are up to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and some things are up to chance. And so Haman is also rejected. This idea that Ahasuerus as king is going to consolidate responsibility for his empire under this servant, and the whole portfolio goes to this one servant who throws lots and is someone who injects randomness. That's not a solution to the problem either. You can't really solve the problem by saying some things are left to chance.